Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I am your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for another episode of Is It Worth My Time? And this time around, it's the Amazon series or season, I should say, of Paper Girls on Amazon Prime. Welcome, everybody. Let me take care of some business first, and we'll get down to it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos, my vast video library, and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you can, hit that like button, the share button as well. And if you're feeling like gambling, you can hit that bell down below, and YouTube may or may not notify you when I come on live. So go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule. I post it up every week. Also, I have all the links to my social media there and all the links to my pages as well. All right. So this is the spoiler-free version of it. It's going to be fairly brief of the spoiler-free review at the beginning there. Hey, Chaka's Cave. No problem, man. Yeah, shit happens all the time, I know. So the spoiler-free version of this. What is this show about in a nutshell that doesn't give anything away? Four paper girls in 1988 end up getting caught in the middle of a time war between two warring factions, um, and meet their future selves, or at least some of them do. And that is the majority of what's going on in this series. These girls end up, traveling through time. Yes. Uh, and some meet their future selves, some don't. And they learn some stuff along the way. That's about the majority of what I can give you there. Um, is it worth your time? Do you like time travel? Yeah. Okay. Then yeah. Um, Also, there is some nice interaction between the girls themselves. There is some, of course. How should I say this? Uh, there's always in a series where you have that tiring thing where uh the characters in your series are fighting amongst themselves to the point where they kind of break up and they get back together, break up, get back together, break up. That actually happens a lot in this series. That, I'll say, is the only thing that really was kind of the downside to this series, was the bickering is really what it was. And it really is not easy to describe without spoilers. CBM, I agree with you, it isn't easy to describe, but yes, it's decently written time travel series. It is. Take a look at the first episode. The first episode's only 37 minutes long, I believe. And again, this is written by so the book was written by Brian K. Vaughan and Cliff Chang for Image Comics. And for those of you who know Brian K. Vaughan is, Why the Last Man. So he wrote this in 2015. The comic first came out in 2015. It's based off the Image comic book. And yes, there are some changes from the comic to the screen, but there are also a lot of similarities as well. So, is it worth your time? Yes, it's worth your time. It's actually a good series. It's different. Um, yes, it has some of the same similar things too. If you like Stranger Things, this is like Stranger Things only with time travel. Is really what it is. I'm going to say that it's only the characters aren't as annoying as the Stranger Things characters. I'm going to say that there's some characters in Stranger Things are really fucking annoying. Um, but these can be annoying at times, but it's a little bit better. Yeah. CBM says the time travel is confusing at this point, but the character writing and overall plot is interesting enough that I don't care too much. Um, yeah, yeah, it's actually some good stuff. It's well written, and also it's kind of funny. One of the episodes is titled "Weird Al is Dead," which, if you watched Why the Last Man, which was also on FX on Hulu, had an episode called "Weird Al is Dead," because again, both series are written by Brian K. Vaughan, and he likes putting that in there. And Weird Al actually tweeted out when this show came out, he's like, "Should I be worried that there's been 2 episodes within a year that have come out that say that I'm dead?" And I thought that was actually kind of funny. Um, but yeah, there's reasons for that in there. He's a big fan of Weird Al, Brian K. Vaughan, so it's in there for a reason. If he turns up dead, we know where to look. Exactly, Serious. So with that said, with that recommendation that yes, it is worth your time, give it a shot. I'm going to the spoilers. Those of you who haven't watched it better run away, because I am going to spoil the series, well, at least the season, the first season here. If you haven't watched it, go run away, push pause, stop, whatever. You can always come back. This will be a video. You can comment down below in the comment section. Okay. I'm giving you enough time. All right. All right. There we go. So, um, I'm not a big fan of Ali Wong. Um, and her playing the adult Aaron, uh, that was one of the things I was just kind of like, "Meh." They could have gotten a better actress. Yeah, that's my other nitpick about all of that. But the whole thing with so you have your characters Aaron, Mac, um sorry, I'm gonna blank on people here for a second. Aaron, Mac, Tiffany, and KJ, or Tiff and KJ. And those are our 4 girls there. And they, of course, end up yeah, I know. You get to see her get blown up, I know. Um, they're the ones who, of course, get they more or less get abducted in 1988. So the warring factions are the STF Underground and the Old Watch. So the Old Watch want to keep time as is. They do not want to correct any bad stuff that happens, whereas the STF Underground wants to correct the bad stuff that happens because their future supposedly is really fucking horrible. We don't know what that is. We don't see that in this series. Also, it's noted that the STF Underground are actually teenagers, whereas the old and they're all horribly scarred some way, that these teenagers, whereas the Old Watch are adults mainly, and they're led by a guy called Grandfather, which I thought was pretty funny because Grandfather is actually being played by Jason Manzukas. And you've probably seen this guy. He's a comedian, and he's always walking around in shorts, like Crocs almost in a way, and different music, different shirts, very 20th, 21st century that he's walking around. Do I think they should have used the doctor from Wild? Oh yeah, they should have definitely used her. She actually would have played a lot better of a character, and she's also a better actress and has better range, I think, than Ali Wong. But if she was going to get blown up anyway, eh. Um, she's on Resident Alien anyway. She plays the nurse on Resident Alien now. So, what I did like about this series was, Mac, you have one character who finds out, they're all 12 years old, these girls. You have one character that finds out that she dies at 16 and doesn't make it to 2019, where they initially time travel to. And she meets her older brother, who was a dick in 1988, but is now a doctor because of everything that Mac went through. And um, he kind of tells her, he kind of pours his heart out to her. And that was kind of a nice little, segment of the show without being, how can I say, it wasn't being too saccharine. It wasn't being too maudlin. It actually did a good job of balancing that with everything else that was going on in the show. Um, that said, also some of the other characters like Larry, uh, losing his wife, which later on we find out it's his wife. um, Juniper. I had to look at my notes there. And basically, she gets abluted, ablution. So that's the other thing too. The old watch calls this thing ablution, where they will take people that have been tainted in the timeline, who have knowledge that they're not supposed to have. They wipe their minds back to what it was beforehand and place them back in the timeline. And for those of you at home who don't know what ablution means, it just means to wash. It's usually you wash. That's pretty much what it means. It means to wash, and so that's what it is. It's brainwashing, is really what it is. So of course they brainwash her at one point, and Larry goes to find her, and she is completely and total. I mean, her mind is pretty fucked. She's almost on a loop, is where she's at, and it's kind of heartbreaking. And he becomes a real dick, to the point where he almost gets the girls killed, including adult Aaron as well. Well, adult Aaron ends up, you know, dying anyway, like in the aforementioned robot. There's a giant robot, by the way, too. There's two giant robots. So what is not to like in this series at this point? Old Aaron, yes. I call her adult Aaron, CBM, but yes, old Aaron, I guess, is the correct term. Oh, yeah, that's actually pretty funny. And the whole ending, so the whole thing with Tiffany starting a institute when she becomes an adult, who leads a Dr. Bronstein, which, if you've read the comics, you know that Dr. Bronstein is the one that actually invents time travel. So they also even hint at it that, Dr. Bronstein invents time travel, and that is where everything's going. And the girls get split up at the end of all of this, with Mac and KJ going off to, I guess, 2022 is where they're going to, and Aaron and Tiff going off to what looks like 1975, 74 or 75, because they wind up back on Larry's farm, which has a drive-in now at this point, and The Longest Yard is playing, and David Bowie's the Golden Years comes out of some of the speakers there. So we know The Longest Yard happened in 1974. We know that Golden Years is 1975. So there you go. We're in the 70s at some point in time there, which actually is part of the comic series, where they are bouncing around a lot through time. And I'm really hoping this gets a second season. It really deserves to get a second season out of this. I want to say that Amazon again kind of botched the ads for this. They haven't really been supportive enough, I don't think, of this series, and dumping it all at once like a Netflix product is not the way to go about promoting this, or supporting it even at this point. I mean, yes, The Boys gets a weekly release. I understand you want to kind of bring in, or draw in an audience, and maybe that is the way you're doing it, by just dumping the entire first season and hoping everything goes well. But you also need to have some kind of advertisement behind it to get people to come in and watch it. Most of the ads have been very vague about what's happening, and you don't know if it's an alien invasion, if it's something else. It's very vague on all that. I mean, you can just mention something about time travel, uh, things of that nature. There are ways of actually promoting this that would get more viewers. I don't know where it stands right now in the number of views out there. I don't know what the Nielsen ratings, if you will, are on this one. And it's good. It's actually, it's worth your time to go and take a look at it and give it a shot. It's 8 episodes long. They vary in length. The episodes, some are an hour long. Some, again, like I said, the first episode's 37 minutes. If the first episode does not, grab you, it probably won't then. So, and that's a great way to find out if it's for you or not. I mean, what else are you going to watch out there? There's, we're kind of in a lull at the moment. We're going to have some stuff, popping up soon. End of this week, beginning of next week, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. So definitely give it a shot. It's worth your time to take a look at it. Again, time travel, that's a no-brainer for me. I'll watch pretty much anything that has time travel in it. Yes, yes, I know. Someone's gonna say dark. Or what about dark? I tried, man. I tried twice, and I'm hung up on the second episode. Is where I'm at. So maybe I just need to skip ahead to the fourth episode or something and just get out of it. Uh, CBM says I enjoyed it a lot. Nicely character driven and dark, but with levity. Yeah, it's always it approaches that line, then kind of maybe takes a step over it and then steps back. I agree with you, CPM. They did a good job of balancing the heavy stuff, if you will, with some of the lighter stuff as well, and then also having, think about it. If you as a child meet yourself, now, you know, say 20, 30 years down the line, somewhere around there. Yeah, what is that? Yeah, say 30 years down the line, right? And sees where your life is now compared to what your, teen self or preteen self was thinking that your life was going to be, uh, they're probably going to have some harsh words for you, or maybe not, depending on what your level of life is. So yeah, but like I said, I like the way they did this. They did a great job of this. Um, Pen Farm Girl says the prioress shows up in a lot of genre. She was the most recognizable. Oh yeah. So I forgot about the prioress, who is grandfather's right hand man, and she kind of surprised us too at the very end. I mean, considering that KJ killed her brother, and then she ends up helping them in the end because she wants to end this time war. She wants to end it, and she figures if Tiffany can talk to herself, her older self, into stopping the time war, then maybe all this shit can end. But highly doubtful at that point. But yes, Prioress is played by Adina Porter, and she's been in a ton of things. I didn't recognize her because of the shaved head, honestly. I mean, she's not shaved down to the skin, but yeah, I haven't, you know, I almost didn't recognize her. And again, great performances all the way around. And I agree with you, Penn, that Ali Wong died in an explosion there. Helped. Yeah, I know I'm bad with that one, but still, yeah, I'm just not a fan of Ali Wong. I'm really not. Um, yeah, so give it a shot. I mean, if you haven't watched it, what else are you gonna watch? I mean, like I said, yeah, all the kids were great actors. I'm trying to think who I like. So Tiffany, uh, being the geek that she is, honestly, uh, probably one of my favorites. I'll say that right now. Yeah, I mean, we need a little bit more. I know screen time with her. I mean, I know we got a lot of screen time with her, but maybe a little bit more would flesh her out a bit more, because we only got the geek side of her. We didn't get like the deeper side of her. Whereas KJ and Mac, we got a bit of the deeper side of Aaron. We didn't really get a lot of the deeper side other than from the adult Aaron or old Aaron and her sister May, the adult sister May. Um, and we still never got the full story about what happened between them and old Aaron looking after her mom and all that kind of stuff. But I'm glad they didn't delve into that because that wasn't what this show was about. It's about fucking time travel, and that's what it needs to be. CBM said I did find the robot battle odd somehow. I'm not sure if it was sound design or CGI, but it was less convincing. The CGI was a bit off. CBM, I'll say that right now. It needed a few more renders to and probably better lighting on it too. That's all. I mean, sure, it was budget. It was more budgetary than anything else, but that you got giant robots fucking fighting it out at all, it actually worked. Plus, I mean, you had a giant robot that's a time traveling robot. What fucking more do you want? As I'm drinking, out of a bottle. Oh man. So, with that said, it is worth your time. Go check it out. What else do I have going on for the rest of this week? Well, tomorrow is going to be episode 3 of Harley Quinn because I skipped over it on Saturday. So, episode 3 of Harley Quinn. And then Thursday is going to be episode 4 of Harley Quinn because that's a new episode. It comes out, episode 4. Friday, I'm going to be off. Saturday, I'll be off. And then Sunday, we roll back around again to Saturday Morning Blast Off, or the Sunday edition of Saturday Morning Blast Off, where I take the genre news of the week and any of the genre stuff you guys want to talk about. When we talk about it, Monday will be Westworld. That's right. Westworld rolls around back again. Tuesday will be another episode of Is It Worth My Time? And I believe that is going to be Prey, if I'm not mistaken. Is going to be Prey is going to happen there. So there you go. That rolls back around to the beginning of the week. So, man, yeah, Prey comes out on Friday. So there you have it. Yeah. So I want to thank everybody who joined me tonight in the chat, and thank you if you made it this far in the video. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos my vast video library and pops it up here just for you. And where do you watch Prey at, Pen? That is going to be on Hulu. Hulu is where Prey is going to be at, exclusively on Hulu. And if you like what you see here in this video here, hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you can, hit that like button, the share button as well. And if you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I have. I post it up every week. Also, I have all the links to my social media there and all the links to my pages as well. All right, everybody. I'm going to let you guys go for the rest of the night. Thank you, everybody who joined tonight. And thank you out there as well for watching. I will see you again tomorrow for Harley Quinn episode 3. Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may find out that while you're delivering papers early one morning in 1988, you wind up in the middle of a time war between teenagers and old people. And you end up getting taken to the future. You meet your older self. You're disappointed with things and giant robots, time travel. It all works out in the end. But anyway, thanks, everybody. I will see you again tomorrow. Stay safe, be well, take care, wear those masks, get those vaccine shots, get the boosters as well. They don't work without the boosters. And I will see you again tomorrow. Have a good rest of your night. Stay safe out there and take care, everyone. Have a good night.